Hey you, what up? Welcome to my channel or welcome back. I'm Maryam. In today's video, I am reviewing a whole lot of new makeup. Even though I just tested out new makeup like 2 videos ago, but I have more makeup to review and you guys wanted to see it. Here we are. I'm gonna give you a couple of sneak peeks of what you can expect in this video, but basically just a lot of cool new products like the first Black-owned K-beauty brand, like OTRERA beauty from Sanana's here on YouTube. We have some Dominique cosmetics. We've got some Wander Beauty. We've got some Bare Minerals. Just a lot of interesting, innovative, new feeling type of products. So with that said, let's get into this video. Remember to subscribe if you aren't already. Hit that notification bell so you can see all of my Wednesdays and Sundays videos. And now let's get into this video. Testing, trying out, reviewing, applying to my face, a whole bunch of new makeup. Here we come. I posed a question last night on my Insta stories after conducting a massive PR unboxing. What do you guys want to see on my channel? What do you want to see reviewed? What products should I dive into? And a lot of you guys have responded after I posted about my IG stories on my YouTube community board. And basically everyone kind of unanimously said that they want to see another video of me testing out new makeup because I have a lot of new makeup in front of me. So let's go ahead and do that. We have a shitload of new makeup. So I'm gonna start by priming my face with this Makeup Geek Skin Brilliance Facial Elixir. This looks very interesting. It's pink, it's a little luminous. And so I'm gonna add some onto the face and then I'm gonna wait for this elixir to sink into my skin. So this indeed is very rosy. I can't tell if it's rosy because of the color or if it's rosy because I'm actually rubbing it into my skin. My skin for some reason is very sensitive to the touch and the moment I rub anything on it, it flushes. But this one I think actually has a little bit of a rosy tone. So if you have any type of redness or discoloration or breakouts, you may want to stay away from the rosy tone. However, if you're very sallow, this might be like a nice counterbalancing type of product. I'm gonna let that sink in and work its magic before I apply my primer and everything else. I actually have some new brow products to try out. So first of all, I have this cute little makeup bag from Makeup Forever with all these new brow products. There's also just like some liners in here and some Aqua Resist shadows, but I'm solely going to focus on the brow products for now. So it looks like we have 2 brow gels. Both are color gels, medium brown and also soft brown. We also have some Resist brow filler brow pencils. These are the thick ones, not my favorite. I'm gonna set those aside. The third thing that we have is this MicroDefine Aqua Resist brow definer pencil. Not ultra fine or anything like that, but good enough for what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna start out with the shade medium brown. Looks like it's a cooler tone brown. I'm gonna use the spoolie on the other side, brush out the brows, and then gently fill them in. I like the shade. It's very fitting for my brows because it's not too red and it's not too warm, but it's not too dark that it's looking harsh. So I really do like the shade. The pencil itself is very soft, very similar to Benefit Precisely My Brow or the ABH Brow Wiz or the One Size Brow Kiki pencil. Essentially, it's that same fine type of pencil, not microfine like the Huda Beauty one, but fine enough. But I will say this is a pinch softer, pinch more of a powdery finish than the Brow Wiz and the Precisely My Brow. I gotta say I kind of enjoyed that. Did I make this brow like way higher than this one? I think I did. Oops. All right, so now I'm just gonna quickly brush that out. Like so. Might need a pinch more fill right here in the center of that tail. I don't know, still, as much as I enjoyed that process of filling in my brow, I find it too tedious and I find it too time consuming for my liking. All right, I'm gonna grab the medium brown waterproof MicroBrush Tinted Gel. That's the official name of it. Oh my God, it is the most microfine little brow brush I've ever seen and it's tilted, so that's kind of cool. Whoa, that's a little too pigmented for my liking. I would say this feels less like a gel and more like paint, like an actual brow color. So I'm going to quickly buff that out because I really don't like too much color in the front end of the brow. I find that that makes this whole eye area very heavy and just like a little mean. All right, so now that I brushed it out, it's looking a little better, but I'm still gonna need to powder on top just to kind of settle that down a bit. All my life, I've been told that I have a resting bitch face, and a lot of it is attributed to my brows because my eyebrows are naturally arched. You know, I naturally look a little evil and scary. For my brows, I try to do less. I don't know, still feeling a little too evil for me looking at my monitor and just like judging everything, like just a little too, I'm a mean girl. And I'm not even a mean girl. Anyway, for my other brow, I'm gonna use something different. I have this Jason Wu Beauty, yeah, Jason Wu, the designer, beauty, brow product. This is a 24-hour wear, vegan, cruelty-free, paraben-free, etc., etc. Wu Brow Everlasting Love Eyebrow Gel. Now I actually have quite a few products from Jason Wu Beauty that were sent to me in PR, but I'm not gonna use everything today. I'm just gonna use whatever fits. Oh my. Oh my. Why does this look like lip gloss? What are they trying to do to me? How am I supposed to use this? Are there directions? Apply to clean, dry brows using the applicator. Carefully create the shape you desire. Note, use a delicate touch and please go light at the front of the brows because no one likes angry brows. Are they talking to me? Are they talking about me? Okay. See, I don't really understand how to use a brush like this for the brows. I am someone who absolutely needs a spoolie. This is an interesting formulation. It goes on like a gel, but it's very, very pigmented. Also, my brows weren't clean to begin with, so I don't know, girl. This is a tricky one. I'm gonna use my spoolie and try to distribute this product evenly throughout the brow hairs, avoiding the angry brow look. Okay, I see. Kind of wish the applicator was a spoolie instead of the brush, because it does seem to be gluing the brow hairs together. It seems to be taming them a bit, so I kind of like the formulation. Also, I'm noticing that it's drying pretty matte, so not very shiny like a brow gel. I'm spending a lot of time on brows. Let's just move on. That was a lot. Okay, so now that the facial elixir has gotten a chance to settle on my skin, I'm still looking a little pink, but that's okay. I'm going to use a little primer. I have this Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Blurring Primer that I'm gonna add to the 3 different parts of my face and just smooth out my texture a bit. This feels very lightweight, not too much at all, like a cream. It does provide a very subtle, velvety to the touch type of finish, but it's silicone free, so it's definitely not too much. And it's definitely not too much for what I'm about to do next. All right, so now that we've primed, I want to talk about this next brand that I am very much intrigued by. If you follow me on IG stories and if you watched my PR unboxing, you are probably already familiar with Dr. Geo. If you're not, let me give you a brief little synopsis. So Dr. Geo is the first Black-owned K-beauty brand that specializes in cushion foundations. They have the most incredible ingredients. I'm gonna pop them up here just because this is exactly what I want to see in my foundations. Although I am a big fan of cushion foundations, I was really never able to find the right shade, and I also was not able to find a cushion foundation that didn't whiten the face. And guess what? It's 2021. We absolutely do not want to whiten our face. We've been there, we've done that. I personally have been there when I was a kid, and it was one of the biggest skincare mistakes I've ever made in my life. Anyway, Dr. Geo cushion foundations are specifically formulated for people of color and for people with deeper skin tones. So this is very exciting. This is the first product of its kind. And they sent me 3 shades here. I believe there's 6 shades altogether. I'll pop up another picture over here so you could see the different skin shades that they cater to. The ones that I have are shade 1, shade 2, and shade 3. The packaging is very typical of a cushion foundation. Comes with a nice little cushion that also has an angled tip for precise application. And here we have the product. I personally like to keep my sticker on the cushion foundation just so it gives that extra layer of protection. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use shade 1, which is the lightest one. It matches me. I tried it out yesterday, but I didn't wear it for a very long time. And I'm just gonna go ahead and start stippling that to my most problematic areas, which at the current moment are my cheeks. As you can see, this cushion foundation offers really good coverage. I love the fact that it's also formulated with and that's my best friend. Got to decline you, Liz. I gotta say, I love the fact that this has hyaluronic acid. This is something that my oily AF acne-prone skin loves because it retains that moisture without giving me that oily look. It also contains some cica, which is known for its anti-inflammatory properties, so that's really great for acne-prone skin. Also, this is SPF 50, so that's another big bonus. Also, you could use this as a concealer. Also, this is a really great natural match to my neck. It feels super lightweight. And let's see, what else am I missing? Vitamin C helps with tightening of pores and an antioxidant. Collagen, which improves skin elasticity. Shea butter, which softens and moisturizes the skin. Tea tree for soothing acne-prone skin. Niacinamide for brightening effects. And also it has adenosine or adenosine for anti-aging effects. $35 for this, but honestly, it might be worth it. All right, I'm gonna use shade 2 on the other side of the face just because I'm not really sure what shade I am. I mean, shade 1 looks great. I also have shade 3, which I will probably use if I get any color on my face. But shade 2 is very similar, just a pinch richer, as you can see. It also has a more peach undertone. Man, but the coverage is really, really very impressive. Also, as I glide this across my pores, I can literally see it kind of closing down my pores. Not a bad match, but just a pinch orange compared to this one. This one's like a truer match. It really goes well with my natural skin tone, which is here on my neck. So shade 1 is what it is for me. But just to show you what shade 3 looks like, I'm gonna swatch it real quick right here on my forehead. Also has a nice yellow undertone, but obviously a pinch too rich for my skin tone as it is right now, but I just wanted to show you. All right, going back to my shade, shade 1. I also love the applicator. It is very precise indeed. All right, so I'm just gonna take a little bit more of that shade and kind of go over these bumps here and also tone down that shade that doesn't really match me very well. Okay, so honestly, this cushion looks amazing. It looks really, really flawless. It feels like I'm not wearing anything on my skin, but yet the coverage is pretty full. Close-up time. I mean, that's not bad. That's really, really not bad at all. Forehead looks amazing. This side of the face, you can kind of still see the breakouts, but that's because this is raw skin, and so foundation has a hard time clinging onto raw skin. Overall, I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. All right, we just gotta cover up that situation real quick. And also, of course, add concealer. For concealer today, I have this new kind of interesting product from Wander Beauty. It's a dual concealer with a matte stick on one side, comes out like a lipstick tube, and then on the other side it's an illuminating liquid concealer. Boom, one of those. Bit of cream concealer in the inner portion. Feels very, very pigmented. Maybe a little bit around the nose, and then using the illuminating liquid one on the outer portion just to kind of lift and bring everything together. The formula so far feels pretty nice, very lightweight. It's not really disrupting the cushion foundation underneath. I do see the luminosity, but it's not super luminous that I would classify that as a highlighter. It's still concealing, but it just has a little bit of those light reflecting properties, those that kind of help trick the eye. I'm not really too familiar with Wander Beauty. I feel like they're still a newcomer to the makeup game, but I don't know. So far, this product feels like a good one. Feels like it's been around for a long time. Like they've perfected this formula. It is really nice. I'm gonna add just whatever's remaining on the brush to the tops of my lids. And then I'm gonna attempt to blend out the cream concealer. It's quite nice. So the shade that I use here is light. I believe this concealer comes in, I wanna say either 18 or 25 shades. And there's definitely shades lighter than the light, and there's a lot of shades that are deeper than the medium, which is the darkest shade that I got. All right, so far I'm really liking the way that everything is looking on my face. It almost feels like I'm wearing too much makeup just because the coverage is quite dramatic. It feels full, but nothing really feels like too heavy on the face, so that's really good. Next up, I think you guys are gonna be really excited about this one. I've got the Bare Minerals Original Mineral Veil Pressed Powder to test out today. I have it in 3 different shades, in sheer light, in sheer medium, and also in translucent, which looks white. But basically, if you guys remember the loose version of this powder, I believe it only came in 2 shades. It was the translucent white mineral veil, and then it was like a shade called Warmth, something that you would use all over the face to bronze up. But besides all that, I was a huge fan of the translucent version. I felt like that mineral veil was the most pore friendly, the most texture perfecting product out there. I haven't used it in quite a while, but today is the day. Of course, it's not exactly the same formulation, but I'm hoping it'll be close enough. Here is the brush. Oh, my opera singer neighbor is going at it. I hear her practicing. All right, so this brush is pretty fluffy and also pretty big. I'm gonna try it out with the translucent version first. I'm gonna just pack some onto this brush. Whoa, it is very powdery. Like very, very, very powdery. Don't blow on your product if you're a makeup artist. Don't even blow on your products if you're not a makeup artist. I'm not even sure what to do here, but the way that I used to apply my mineral veil is by just stamping the product into my pores. So I'm gonna try to do that here. That did it. That kind of just like sealed the deal. You can definitely tell the difference between this side of the face and this side of the face. Let me show you a close-up real quick. Kind of similar to that pixie powder that I tried in my previous testing out new makeup video. So this is the unpowdered side. This is the powdered side. Do we see a difference? I feel like I see the difference more with the naked eye than on camera. On camera, it seemed like it was just like a little matte, but the texture was still there. I don't know. All right, let's try it on this side. I feel like it definitely did something. All right, let's also add that to the under eye. I'm still using the translucent one. And I don't know, but I feel like I like what it did. It definitely took away all the dew of the cushion. It mattified it for sure. So now there's not a lot of luminosity at all, but I kind of like that for me. I'm gonna add just a pinch more to the center of my forehead and also to the center of those brows, just to kind of tone down the angry brow situation. And now I want to test the shade Sheer Medium. Sheer Light in comparison to the Sheer Medium is very, very pink, but this one looks appropriate. All right, picked up a little bit. I'm gonna add that to the rest of the face. And so now because this one has color, this may help disguise that big acne scar I have here. Oh my, she is really practicing. And you know, I've never met this opera singer neighbor. I don't know if she lives underneath me, but like underneath the place next door, but I always hear her and I'm intrigued because I am an opera buff. And when I say buff, I mean I'm kind of like an opera buff the way that I am a Prince fan. Like, no, I don't know every single opera, you know what I'm saying? But I do enjoy it. Back when I was a kid, I used to take vocal lessons and I used to, you know, make my attempts at opera. So I have a very fond recollection of that genre. All right. I am feeling really, really, really matte, like very, very matte right now. But up close, everything looks really, really good. I will say that now that I've applied the powder, the skin finish looks less like a skin finish. It definitely looks more like makeup, whereas the cushion by itself was a lot more skin-like. So I kind of appreciated that. But with the powder, I feel like I have a much more dressed up, upscale, like glam kind of look. Not that there's a place for it for me right now, but there will be. Okay, you know what pisses me off? Because I'm oily skin, I always like to powder my face before applying blush. But now that we have entered the cream blush era, I literally forget that I want to use a cream blush and I should probably not set my foundation before I use my cream blush. Like, who am I and why am I doing this? Like constantly, consistently. It's so annoying. And I also have some cream bronzers to test out. I mean, girl, get it together. Oh man. All right, so for the cream blushes, I have Dominique Cosmetics new cream blushes. They look very, very cute and I've been dying to try them. I mean, look how gorgeous the shade is. This one's called Warm Peach and it's just like the color that I want on my face right now, but I'm a little afraid, just a little bit afraid. Should I go for it? So afraid. All right, I'm gonna go for it with my fingers. I'm just gonna use a little bit. I'm gonna pick up like a tiny bit on just my ring finger. Ooh, this feels very, very powdery. This is, I just have a feeling that this is not going to work. Not with that mineral veil, Okay, so because the color is sheer enough, I feel like I'm actually able to apply this onto my cheek. It's kind of hard to blend out, I will say, and it would have been much easier if I didn't powder down, but it's sticking and it's not affecting my foundation underneath. Whew, that's a relief. To be honest with you though, I feel like I should just leave it the way that it is right now. I'm not gonna blend it out. If I blend it out, things will shift. So basically what I'm gonna do instead is very carefully place it exactly where I want it to appear. And then just gently buff out the edges with my finger like that. Applying a little bit at a time. But wow, I am really impressed that this is not shifting that powder underneath. That is really, really promising and really impressive. And also it looks so damn good. Holy crap, yes. Okay. That is fire. Okay, warm peach. I almost feel like I need to look up the ingredients of this because I'm almost shocked. This is very creamy, this feels balmy, but it wasn't oily and it did not disrupt. Oh, I'm just like very perplexed today, but perplexed in a very positive way. So now let's move on to the fun category, which is the eyes. For the eyes, I have something very special to test out and to review for you guys today. And it is a big old PR package from OTRERA Beauty, or OTRERA Beauty in English. And this is a brand new makeup line founded by Sana, aka Sananas, here on YouTube. She is a French beauty guru, beauty influencer. Here she is looking absolutely stunning. She's also a really, really nice person, and I'm just so excited for her and for this new line, you guys. So in this PR package, on the top level, we have a bunch of brushes that I will be utilizing today. We also have some beauty puffs, a sponge, and then on the bottom tray here, we've got an eyeshadow palette and some primers. A lot of you guys wanted to see this brand reviewed. A lot of people were very excited for the eyeshadow palette because it is something very, very cool. So now the brand itself is inspired by the fierce Amazonian woman. In fact, the name OTRERA is the name of the first Amazon warrior princess. And here we have the palette that's called the Beginning Palette. So first of all, I really love the mold. I really love just like this shield looking packaging. It has this really cool band on the back, so you can easily kind of attach it to your hand and do your makeup from there. This is also very cool. The way that it opens up is from the top and then also from the side. And here we have a mirror and two gorgeous panels of eyeshadows. Now, of course, I already took a look at it and I think this is very stunning. So I'm very excited about this one. I think these colors are beautiful. There's lots of neutrals, but there's also some really, really stunning pops of color. So today I'm going to be utilizing all that. I'm going to be dipping into all of these shades. Also, we have these eye primers in multiple shades labeled 1 through 5. I'm going to test out the shade 2. All right, so this is basically a cushion applicator, squeezy tube. So what I'm gonna do is apply this to the eye first using the applicator, and then I'm gonna blend it out with my finger. That's just generally how I like to apply eyeshadow primers. So I'm gonna stick to that. The finish on this looks pretty matte, and it also has a bit of a sticky consistency, kind of reminding me of my Fenty Beauty primer that I love so much, but with color. Dries down pretty quickly, so I will say work with one eye at a time if you really want it to be flawless. Boom. Oh, the brushes themselves look so cool. I love the aesthetic. I love like this grayish nude matte feel. Feels very luxe, but very approachable, so I appreciate that a lot. So what I'm gonna do is pick up the Y1 brush, which is basically a fluffy brush. I'm gonna dip into this shade here called Meazza. And now this palette and these eyeshadows are actually made in Italy. So that's very impressive because if you're a true beauty connoisseur, you know that the best eyeshadows are made in Italy, like Natasha Denona, like Pat McGrath, and now OTRERA. I'm gonna start out by adding that to my outer crease. This first shade is stunning. It applies beautifully, effortlessly, and I love the shade too. It's not too tan and it's also not too gray, so it works perfectly as that transition crease shade. So now you can get this palette and also the products from this brand online on their website, and they do ship to a lot of countries around the world, including the United States, so bear that in mind. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with this first brush and also with this first eyeshadow. Just very, very seamless, very professional. Moving along to the next shade, I'm gonna pick up the Y5 brush, which is narrower and stiffer, just like a more detailing brush. I'm gonna go for this shade Valentina. Now, Valentina was actually my grandmother's name, and let me tell you, my grandma, she was the epitome of an Amazon. She was so fierce, she was so bold, she wasn't afraid to tell you exactly how it is. And apparently she also shares a name with a woman in history that has contributed to bettering our world. Apparently all the names of the eyeshadows in this palette are named after fierce women who have changed the course of history, so that's really cool. All right, so I'm just using this shade Valentina to define my crease a little bit further, to just add a little bit more warmth. I'm loving how the two shadows blend into each other. Very, very seamless, very easy. The brushes so far are also amazing. Like really, really, really impressive. I'm gonna use the same shade, add a little bit to my lower lash line here, but just to the outer corner, just to connect everything together. So soft. this shade right here, Sonita, is calling my name. I'm gonna pick that up on a finger, but there's also a brush for it. This one here, Y4. I'm gonna do one with my finger, one with a brush. This is breathtaking. Such a unique shade, because I will say this one is definitely part rosy and also part lavender. Just adding that to my entire movable lid, because it feels right. I'm gonna do the same thing with the brush. I'm gonna go back with the finger, it's just faster this way. Also, these eyeshadows are vegan, they're cruelty-free. And I believe the price is 49 euros. So it's definitely not the cheapest, especially not for Americans. But you can see that the quality is definitely there. Ah! All right, next I'm gonna take the angled brush. This one is Y6. I'm gonna go for this shade here and use that to extend my outer corner and lash line in a wing, but like a subtle eyeshadow wing. I don't want it to be too harsh. Why am I in love? Wow. I'm always very excited when influencers, YouTubers, reviewers come out with their own makeup lines, because I always say that people who review products for a living generally know more about makeup products than, say, celebrities. I also really do enjoy a makeup artist perspective on makeup. But generally speaking, beauty YouTubers and beauty influencers have vast experience and vast knowledge on products. Especially those of us who have been doing it for a long time, like Sana, who's been on YouTube for over 10 years, you know? So I can definitely see not only her perspective when it comes to this line, but like also her expertise, you know? Like the quality is just outstanding. These brushes feel incredible. Okay, I'm looking for a clean brush without any cat hair on it, just to whisk off some fallout from that last shade. Very quickly, I'm gonna reach for this white shade called Jean. I'm gonna add a little bit of that. It's actually not white, it's more cream. I'm gonna add that to the inner corner. Just highlight this area very quickly. And also add that to my brow arch. Also a bit of a highlight. And same thing here. Yeah. There we go. All right, that was lovely. That was very enjoyable. And I didn't even use a cute band. Okay, moving right along. I'm gonna curl my lashes real quick. I have the new Essence Lash Princess False Effect Waterproof Mascara. Excited about this one because generally I really like Essence's mascaras, especially when they're waterproof. The formula for me feels very clean, feels very approachable, feels very Asian lash friendly, meaning it's not too much, it's not too heavy. I wouldn't say it's giving me so much of a false lash effect. That's just pushing it and it's asking for too much. All right, but the result is cute. Actually, with the second coat, it looks a lot better. Ah, yes, this is very exciting. Laura Mercier has a new collection. I think it's called the Rose Collection, or maybe Rose Romance Collection, something with a rose. Basically, it comes with all these eye crayons that looked absolutely amazing when I swatched them. I'm gonna pop that up right here. And also they have this new Rose Glow highlighter that also looks very promising that I'm going to utilize today. The eye crayons I'll definitely save for a different video though. But today we are going to highlight using this Laura Mercier Rose Glow highlighter. I feel like that's very pretty. Like actually really, really pretty. Like just really super stunning. Oh, very subtle, but very effective. I love it. A little bit on the nose, pinch on the chin, a little bit on the forehead, just like a smidge. You see that? I feel like my face is looking just a smidge pale, but I think I do need a bronzer. I don't have a new powder bronzer, so I'm just gonna grab this Glowish by Huda Beauty medium bronzer. I'm just gonna bronze up a pinch, like pinch over here on the forehead. Just a little bit of a glow. I think that was necessary. For the lips, I have something very exciting. New from Fenty is their Fenty Heat Plumping Gloss. Comes in this beautiful sheer cherry shade that I think might work for today's look. Ooh, it definitely has that sriracha feel to it in terms of scent. My lips are already lined using the Persona Cosmetics Dusk lip liner, but I'm gonna just add a pinch more. And now I'm gonna go for the heat. Oh yeah. Oh, I love the shade. I love the fact that it's sheer enough to go with everything, but it still has that pretty pinky cherry ruby sort of undertone, so it definitely feels a little bit more special than just like a clear gloss. I don't feel any plumping or any stinging sensations just yet. Here it is. Here is the look using all this newness, all this makeup in front of me that you guys wanted to see. So let's quickly go over everything. Looking at my face right now, I will say that I'm pretty impressed with the skin. I really like how professional everything is looking, how flawless my skin finish looks. It definitely doesn't have that no makeup vibe. This looks like makeup. It doesn't really feel so much like makeup, but it started looking more like makeup after I added the Bare Minerals pressed mineral veil powder on top of the Dr. Geo foundation cushion. But before that, it was definitely looking and feeling more like natural skin. So that is something that I have to point out. But looking at my face right now, nothing is really disrupting or misbehaving. Everything seems to be working well together. I was really surprised with that Dominique Cosmetics blush, the fact that it didn't disrupt my foundation underneath. It just worked with everything. It worked with the powder, it worked with the foundation. I really can't complain. I have to say, I absolutely love this Laura Mercier highlighter. It looks so booming and beaming and vibrant, but it's not giving me throwback vibes. It still feels very present day, and that I absolutely love. All right, the Fenty heat is starting to sting just a little bit, but still not enough for me to comment on it. But I do love the color, and I think it's a color that I can see myself reaching for a lot. But I will say the star player of this whole video was definitely Sana's brand, OTRERA Beauty. I loved this palette at first glance, at first touch, at first impression. I thought that the brushes were just incredibly high quality. Everything worked together so well. I love her inspo. I love the story behind the brand. And ultimately, I can really see myself reaching for this a lot. I feel that this would be one of the 5 palettes that's always on my makeup table that never gets shoved back into the drawer type of palette. So that's saying a lot for me because I own probably close to 1,000 palettes. But this definitely feels special and this definitely feels current and I love it. Definitely very inspiring to me as a beauty influencer, as a woman, as a human being on earth. I love it. I love it. So with that said, definitely let me know what you guys are interested in the most. Let me know if you have any questions about anything. Ask me how everything wore. Pretty curious to see how this Wander Beauty concealer holds up throughout the day. And yeah, those are my thoughts. Those are my final scents. That is my look. That is my video. And I'm happy I filmed it. So with that said, I'm going to zoom on out and wrap things up because it feels like this is a very long video. Let me say adieu. Click on my 2 videos right here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Mwah.